is time.
There's a new Terminator. The TX. It is designed for extreme combat. It's faster, more intelligent, and more powerful.
Oh my God!
It has been programmed to destroy other cybernetic organisms. It was sent back through time for one purpose only. To kill us all.
She'll be back.
Hello, so nice to be here with you both.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us.
My pleasure.
Okay, yeah, we just have a few questions. I mean, I know everybody in the whole world knows you by now, but we're just gonna ask, some of the questions that everybody asks. And so, how did you decide to, become an actress? When did you actually, got the thought of I want to become an actress?
It was from when I was a little tiny girl. As long as I can remember, I wanted to perform. I wanted to be an actress. And I grew up on a fruit farm in upstate New York. We had a big gourmet roadside market, bakery, petting zoo for kids. And I was fortunate enough to do all kinds of dance lessons and theater and voice and singing. And I carried that through really until I got to be about 13 years old, and I saw that film Beethoven. I don't know if you remember it, with the big Saint Bernard dog. And there was a girl in it who was about my age, Nicole Tom, the actress. And I said, Mom, I want to do that. So my mother had been a model. My dad had been an actor before they bought the farm upstate. And so my mom took me into the city and New York City, and I got to meet my dad's old agent, and he started working with me. And I was lucky enough to actually get the first audition I went on, which was for a soap opera called As the World Turns. And I played the speed-aged daughter of Meg Ryan's character. So, in soap operas, sometimes they'll have a character that's like a toddler, and then they'll go away for a few years and come back as 13-year-old. So that was me. Unfortunately, Meg had left the show not that long before, but technically I was her daughter on the show. And I got to work with Jason Biggs. He played my boyfriend, from the American Pie franchise. Wow. So that was really the beginning, and it's just gone from there.
Wow, that's a great start.
Thanks.
Yes. And so, out of all the movies that you've done through the years, which one is your favorite movie?
That's a tough question. I think there's certain parts of different films that I've appreciated in most all of them. Of course, some are more near and dear to my heart than others, but it's really shaped my life journey. As I was saying to you both just before we started the interview, I did a mini series, Die Nibelungen, or the Nibelungen story, Sword of Xanten, wherever you're from, it had a different name, The Ring of the Nibelung. And we shot it in South Africa, in Cape Town. And so Cape Town ended up being a big, big part of my life. For about 10 years, I had a home there. So that, if it's interesting how different jobs have taken me in different directions. If I hadn't done that job, I wouldn't have had that wonderful experience in South Africa. And another film that I have upcoming that I really enjoyed as well is called Dark Night of the Soul. And that's a story about a woman who's staring death in the face, her dark night. And will she be able to pull through? Has she done what she's needed to do in this lifetime to move on to the afterlife, or does she still have work to do in this earth realm? So again, there's a little bit of something, you know, and they pull from you in different ways. Sometimes it's more in a physical sense, sometimes it's more emotional, sometimes it's more cerebral. So it really depends on the role.
Yeah, it's like, there's something for everyone there.
Exactly, for sure. Yeah, various different genres over time as well.
So, what attracts you to a film? What makes you agree to take a film?
Um, for me, it depends on various factors. It really starts with the script. You know, if the script is not good, it's never going to be a good movie. I mean, you could give your best performance in the world and it wouldn't matter because I mean, you may still be good in it, but the movie's not going to be great. So the script is really first and foremost important. And then, of course, the other people that are involved, the director, the other actors, that's all an important quality. And there's certain rules that speak to you at different times of your life as well. Maybe you're looking for something that's more emotionally dramatic, other times more physical, or sometimes it's just really luck of the draw, what comes around and happens to be good. Or in starting my own company, then I get to cultivate the job and the film that I actually like to make too, and have more overall control. So there's various different factors that go into it.
What is your definition for a female action hero?
Um, I think it's really internal strength that manifests externally. I think you really have to own it inside to be able to showcase it outside. And for me, you know, I can really see it when I watch something, if it works or if it doesn't, if it's believable or if it's not. And I think a lot of that really comes with, like I said, that internal strength that manifests externally, because you have to buy a female hero that's strong, right? That has that strength. And, you know, I think Sigourney Weaver did it incredibly well in Alien. You know, she really pioneered that road. She just embodied that physicality and that strength. And I think it really is about that in the end.
And the movie BloodRayne. How was it like to play a vampire?
Well, BloodRayne was a great experience. Actually, I was a Damphir. I was half human, half vampire. So I was kind of like a vampire with heart, so to speak.
Okay, wow.
I cared about the blood that I was where I was getting it from. But we had a great cast. Playing Sir Ben Kingsley's daughter was awesome. He is such a legend, incredible, and I loved working with him. And of course, we had Michelle Rodriguez and Michael Madsen. And, you know, there's something for me that's always been enticing about vampire films. And I think for a lot of people is that ability to live on forever, that eternal life. What would that actually be like to sustain your life from another life force? So there's something very intriguing about that. So yeah, of course, there's lots of action in it. And Meatloaf, he's a lovely man. Rest in peace, Meatloaf. And you know, we had some great characters in that movie.
It's an all-star cast. Yeah, but okay, now we're gonna get to the Terminator questions. We just want to this is now where it actually gets serious now.
Oh, I see. They're putting their glasses on. I love it.
Getting into character now. Yeah.
Which I actually wanted to ask you if you can see, you know, who is doing the best Arnold impersonation. Let's get out of here. Get to the chopper. I'll be back. No, I'll be back. No, I'll be back. Okay, well, she'll be back.
Oh, I like it. I like it. You guys are
Three,
that. Great. That's great. I think it's a tie. It's a tie. I can't really choose. Yeah, who's
Oh,
better?
that's
You both
good.
nailed it. Nailed it.
Uh,
Um,
we,
We watched Terminator so many times.
Yeah.
We actually, I think it was back in 2003. We saw in high school, and back in the day when books were still a thing, we actually still bought a movie magazine in South Africa.
we
oh,
got,
that's great. I love it. That's awesome.
What a cover, eh? And
Yes.
it's like literally the date, 2003. So this is like more like 20 years ago.
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
That's great. Well, if I was there, I'd sign it for you. I'm
yeah.
doing a virtual signing right there.
We never knew, like, watching at the paper, we're gonna actually talk to the real Terminatrix.
Yeah.
That's right. And here I am. Yeah.
I'm actually scared to death. She might kill us.
You should be.
But I'm
No.
glad
We touched on the questions. We touched on it a little bit, but you played such an intense Terminatrix, in the movie Terminator along with Arnold. How did you get into character? Like every single day, did you just show up on set and then you were already focused, or were there like steps that you do to get into this, this cyborg?
Yeah, no, there were a lot of steps actually. It started before filming with the training. So I completely transformed my body type at that time. I put on 15 pounds of muscle mass. I did weight training. I had a nutritionist to really get and achieve the body type that I wanted. So in the end, I had my body fat was down to like that of an Olympic athlete. I did Krav Maga training, Israeli martial arts. I worked with a protege of Marcel Marceau, a mime. So I had a mime coach as well to eliminate
okay.
all those human traits like showing exertion while running, blinking while firing a weapon, things like that. Um, and then I worked with the Los Angeles Police Department to learn how to use the 45. So it was basically like layers on a cake to put that all
Yeah.
together. And then with my mime coach, we worked on the walk, that very specific walk. So yeah, there were various layers. So when we started, I'd already done my homework.
So how was it like working with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Was it like a real shocker?
Yeah, Arnold was great. I mean, he had this larger than life persona, very gracious with his fans. I learned a lot by working with him on the stunt sequences. And it was an incredible opportunity, obviously, and experience. And I just wanted to make sure that I'm working with the $30 million man. I think that's how much he got paid for that movie at the time.
Yeah,
And so I didn't want to misstep and like punch him in the face by accident or anything like that, But it all worked out in the end. And he's a prankster. He's a jokester. He loves his cigars, as I'm sure you've heard. And just a really affable guy, and traveling around the world with him and then doing publicity with his then wife, Maria Shriver. I felt like I was traveling with royalty. It was an incredible opportunity, and I certainly was inspired to be my best and do my best.
No, this is like one of the top Terminator movies in the franchise. This is almost one of my favorite movies. I think it's a big twist that came in that it's for the first time a female Terminator that's kicking ass and taking names,
That's right. That's true. And I'm so glad it was me.
yeah.
Totally. So, were you a fan of the Terminator movies before T3?
I'm not like an action movie fan per se in general, but I saw Terminator 2 and I was absolutely captivated by Robert Patrick's performance in that movie. I just couldn't believe how he had removed all of those human traits, and I just was a machine. And after I got the job, it was ironic because I got on a plane to go to Vancouver from LA to do a job, and I happened to be sitting right next to Linda Hamilton. True story.
Yes.
And I was like, I look at her and then I glanced down at her ticket to make sure like the name. And I was like, so we chatted the whole way. She's amazing. And then at another time I was at an event and I think we were still filming T3 then. And I saw Robert Patrick and I introduced myself and I just said, you know what? I'm, the female Terminator in the next film. And I just got to tell you, what an inspiration you were to me and in my character creation. Of course, I wanted to make it my own. She's a woman. There are female traits that I added in there and colored the performance with. And then, ironically, years later, after the film came out, he and I are in a film together. And I play like his crazy, estranged ex-lover in this film.
Okay.
Who's like trying to kill him or something and end up killing myself in a movie called SWAT Firefight from the SWAT franchise.
Yeah. Okay.
So we sat down at a bar and we talked Terminator to Terminator. And we were like, we're the only people, at that time, not a lot of the other films had come out that we could really have that conversation and talk about. I'll never forget it. What did that mean to our career after having those roles, and how it shaped us and our body type and our physicality. And I've had the privilege after my son was born, another incredible experience. I happened to go down the elevator in the hospital only days after my son is born, still there, and who do I see? Robert Patrick.
What?
And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Robert. I said, I just had a baby. And he goes, oh my gosh. So he came up, he met my son, he said a prayer. I mean, it was just beautiful. No, he's an incredible human being. And I love Robert. And we do conventions together. We got another one coming up in Seattle in next month before Halloween. And so, he's been a great friend.
So maybe he was looking for John Connor in the hospital. Yeah.
That's right. Maybe he was, and he found me instead.
Yeah.
John Connor.
He found his nemesis.
Just a last Terminator question. In the movie Terminator 3, what is your favorite line of dialogue? Because you have so many, there's so many memorable quotes almost.
Probably, I like your car.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some funny ones in there.
Yeah.
That's probably it. Yeah, when she sees the woman, and then little does the woman know what's going to be happening next. There's some good ones for sure.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all the Terminator questions. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, you can get out of character now.
Yeah. We can get,
that was the first character training.
we can get the human traits back.
Obviously, in Tarzana, Tarzana is in Los Angeles. It's a district in the San Fernando Valley, which is actually inspired by Edgar Rice Burroughs' character Tarzan. Have you read any of the Tarzan books?
Yes, when I was little growing up, we had the Golden Books, they were called, and we had Tarzan's story. And back when I was young, my mother had I saw the original film. It's been many years now, but she showed it to me. And actually, the actor who played Tarzan when my mom was modeling, full story here, but full circle rather, she would do these shows, and I think in like the maybe 60s or 70s. And the models would come out with whatever was for sale, these evening gowns or whatever, and they would kind of walk through the whether it was a benefit or some kind of dinner event or something, and people could buy the gowns. And so the actor who plays Tarzan it's Johnny Weissmuller.
It was the first one.
Yeah, Johnny Weissmuller, right? He said my mother looked so beautiful in that gown that he bought it for her.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah, yeah. So how's that for full circle? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can totally make out a Jane. I mean, they can cast you for a Jane in a Tarzan movie.
Oh, thank you. That would be fun. I would love to play Jane. That'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
If possible, describe yourself in a hashtag.
Hashtag why not?
Yeah, there we go. Hashtag why not?
Yeah, hashtag why not? That is totally me. I love having new experiences. I'm up for lots of different fun adventures. I love the outdoors. I ski. I'm an open ocean swimmer. I do. I'm an equestrian. I've ridden I rode across Namibia from Windhoek to Swakopmund.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just one of my long. So I'm up for a lot of adventures, and I think that's one of the things that I really loved about South Africa, and also the women that I met there. They're different than the women in the U.S. for the most part. I'm generalizing here, but there was a real sense of adventure and strength. And South Africa still seems kind of like the Wild West for us, like back in the day, because there's so many different things that you can do here and there. Then we have more restrictions, not in all the ways, and sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's good.
Yeah.
But I really loved having all kinds of great adventures there.
That's good. That's fantastic.
Okay, just to finish this off, is there anything new you're working on? Any new projects in the pipeline?
Yeah, so I had Darkness of Man, which came out recently, is a film that I did with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So that is now available. This is a neo-noir action thriller, and I play his love interest in it. And then what's upcoming is the film that I previously mentioned that I also produced called Vice and Virtue. That is about two celestial beings, Vice and Virtue, that take human form, come down to planet Earth and impose a judgment day, if you will, on about half a dozen people that find themselves in an undisclosed location. This film really looks at our choices, why we choose what we choose, and how certain choices take us in one direction and other choices lead us down a different path. And then I have a film called No Address, which is inspired by true events, and that underscores the homeless crisis that we're currently facing here in America. And in Los Angeles alone, we have the largest in-city homeless community. We have about 74, I think that was the last number I heard, 74,000 people are homeless currently. Through COVID, it just snowballed. And so we're really trying to raise awareness with this film. I play the wife of Billy Baldwin, and it's a story of various different people and how anybody can be only a few steps away from becoming homeless. So No Address will be out the beginning of next year. And then the film that I previously mentioned as well called Dark Night of the Soul, which is a film that I think it really gets you thinking on a deeper level as to what you're doing in your life, why you're doing it, and why that may be important to you. So those are my upcoming projects at this time. And then, of course, like I mentioned, last weekend in October, I will be at a convention in the Seattle area in Washington State. And then my social media, at KS Loken Instagram, X, Loken Kristanna, and then, of course, my official Facebook page for all my other updates. Well, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much.
We'll have to say hasta la vista, baby.
That's it. I love it.
We'll meet again.
Yeah, we'll meet again.
Indeed. Well, good luck with the convention. I think it's great that you guys are doing it, and it was nice to hear some familiar accents again. And it's ironic that Cape Town connection, and then Namibia, that I happened to even mention that too.
Thanks a lot, Kristanna. Have a nice day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
She'll be back.